Shalom, shalom. Let's start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to our heavenly power, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawcha Qadash. All right. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, GMS, who rule well in time of this truth. Shalom to the Bayada Wada, and shalom to the sincere Agwathium who are staying in order according to the scriptures. I am your brother Shemayim, coming back with another lesson. All right. Through the spirit of Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashi. I am from the Diligent Soldier Camp out here in Boston, Massachusetts. And like always, I hope that this lesson be edifying to the elect. All right. I'm not too sure what I'm going to name this lesson, but this lesson has to do uh this lesson is about, you know, the C hip. Okay, push C and hip together. All right. Uh the MARK of the beast. Okay, Revelations 13. Okay, the MOT to the B. Okay, the rice device. All right, put it together, man. And like Yahawashi told Peter, if you love me, feed my sheep, and I'm here to feed the sheep and let you know that this C hip is here, man. The C hip is here, and I know we mentioned it before, and it don't matter. We sound like a broken record, and we're gonna keep doing it until it's mandatory, and until Esau Edom is using all his ways to forcefully stop us from pushing the message that Yahweh Shem Yahushua wants us to push onto the world. And ultimately, once Esau forcefully stops us from pushing this message, ultimately this means this is the Lord's movie, because the Lord is the one that's gonna bring the famine of the word. All right. That being said, I got an article, and I got a couple scriptures, right? Uh Another thing I want to mention, right? Let me share my screen. Can I X out of that? Nah, that's cool. All right. I want to show you guys something. All right. Because I saved this lesson. I didn't get to watch it. I saved it in my YouTube playlist. You guys can probably find it, and everybody has playlists. If you didn't know that, on YouTube, I have Elder Apostles of Great Millstone playlist. And there's certain videos that, the ones that I'm able to the ones that appear, the ones that I'm able to catch in a sense as the title, and I'm able to save it. I don't watch them all, just being honest, because there's so many videos. That being said, Lord willing, I'm able to watch the video. But one thing that did catch my mind was the lesson of it. It was the title of the lesson, which was something around, let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Let's do that. Let me see if I can find it. All right. Now bear with me. So you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Elder Apostle Tahar made put up this lesson earlier. I want to say today. It's a lot, yeah. Sure. Right here. So I didn't save it. I have to save it. Save to playlist. Elder Apostle. Right there. Okay, the name of the lesson. And let's see who put it up. GMS Page Master. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, this is the elder brother Kazak, from Mississippi. If you're watching this, elder brother Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi Brakatah, Lord willing, you're doing well. All right. This is the lesson that the elder Apostle Tahar did. It's called "This is Topic Number 1." All of you camps better get with the program. You see? And through the spirit, it motivated me to do this lesson because it's very important, all right, for the people to understand that this C-hip or this R.F.I. to the D, right? Put those letters up as an acronym, radio frequency identification, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, it's actually prophesied that it was gonna happen, man. Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, prophesied this was gonna happen, right? All scriptures are inspired through God, through Yahawah, all right? And the spirit of prophecy is the spirit of Yahawashi. All right, so Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi wrote this in the scriptures, man. The RF to the I to the D was gonna be the MARK of the beast. All right, put that together. MARK. All right. And it's very important that we warn our people, man. Why? Because we love Yahawashi. And if we love Yahawashi, we're gonna feed the sheep. We love Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Okay. And this is why this lesson was inspired. And one thing that I want to let you guys know is that this is what the typical C-hip looks like, right? I want to show you this. All right. You probably see us, with the sign showing one of these, right? This rice device. It's a device the size of a grain of rice, some type of glass material with barcodes and with a barcode inside and this technology, with this RFI to the D technology, and yeah, you probably seen this one right here where they implant it with a syringe. All right. And one thing that I seen the elder Tahar speak about, which caught my mind is that Esau, you see, Esau is the devil, right? And Esau knows what the men of the Lord be pushing out in the highways and byways. Okay. And Esau, he's such a devil that if he wanted, he can push something that looks different. For like, look at this right here. This is like a bubble right there. Look at this. This is a tag. This is like a bubble. So it doesn't look like a rice device. You see these things? This is a circular shape. This is a square. Look at this one. You know, that's the spirit, the water Yahawashi Mashai. Because this is what I was trying to show you that the elder was emphasizing on. That Esau will come around and do something different, and then you know, tell the mass, you see, he'll be like, you see, these people were saying that the C hip was a rights device, but this is something else, so it can't be the MARK of the beast. All right, let me get this right. Let me get this. How did I get to? Okay, let me get this right. I'm gonna get a scripture. This is the book of Second Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 11, and it reads, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." All right, and his devices goes into plot, scheme, agenda, plan, etc., etc. All right, we're not ignorant of Satan, and you know, and ultimately Satan is Esau Edom's god. All right, and Esau Edom is the physical counterpart of Satan. Understand this. So Esau Edom can, you know, bring out some new shit, and you know, and try to play it off like, look, we're not pushing the C hip, which the C hip could be the MA. They'll say like the C hip could be the MARK, but this is not the rights device. This is something else. They'll give you a square shape, a bubble shape, so many different things, man. So many different shapes and options. And I want you to understand that any type of RFI to the D uh shape technology, any type of shape, right? That is inserted. There's a cutting in your flesh, most likely used with a syringe, and something is put inside of you. That object is the MARK of the beast, man. All right. If it's a RFI to the D C hip, okay. I want you to understand that that is the MARK of the beast. Now, there's a lot of people that have been used as uh, test subjects. There's a lot of people that have volunteered. There's a lot of people that been forced, maybe in the military. Uh, there's a whole country, Sweden, but they all been lab rats. You know, a lot of certain celebrities, certain people, you know, and understanding it's all gradualism. It's being pushed out more, right? You see how Amazon is pushing all this Palm Pay. They're pushing all these stores where you can just walk in and walk out, and you don't gotta bring out any card or use any register, any of that. This is Esau Edom going above and beyond. You see? Let me get this scripture. Okay. This is Psalm 64:6. They search out iniquity. They accomplish a diligent search. See, you have to understand that Esau Edom goes above and beyond searching out this technology and trying to finesse it and make it to the best it can be so that once it's forced onto the mass, they'll have full control of the people, man. You will have no more freedom, which ultimately no one has freedom, you know, but they're gonna go above and beyond to forcefully uh make you submit in all senses. Right. So Psalm 64:6, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and their heart is deep. You see? So from there, I actually want to bring the article, you know, and yeah, just give me 1 second, because I'm actually gonna I wanna guess something. Okay, just give me 1 second. Just bear with me. I want to get the article, but before I even get the article, I actually want to bring out this copyright disclaimer. You know, because Esau, man, Esau be playing games. Esau be playing games, man, you know? And we gotta be wise as serpents, harmless as doves. And we exposing you, Esau. We understand that it's about time that you start forcing the C-hip on the people, man. Okay. All right, so let me get this disclaimer. So this disclaimer, copyright disclaimer under section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All right, Esau, this is fair use. All right, this is for news reporting, teaching, education, and research. This is fair use. All right, just got to make that disclaimer. You know, and Lord willing, you brothers are still here listening. All right, because I understand that sometimes, you know, we might be bringing out a lot of information, and you know, hey man, sometimes Jay got a short what is it called, a short I forgot what the word that I'm saying, but like a child, like he thinks about one thing, then he forgets about it. Now he's thinking about another thing. A short mind anyway, let's just continue. Okay. I got this article by the Wall Street Journal. Right. It says Uniqlo parent company bets big on tiny RFI to the D C hips. It says next generation self-checkout machines are part of a broader effort to improve the supply chain with radio technology, fast retailing, uh Silo Takashiro or Sio or Klo Takashiro Tambara says. Sounds like a Japanese name or Asian name. Which makes sense from this logo right here. But this is called Uniqlo. And I might be mispronouncing it. All right. So it says uh, at Uniqlo's Fifth Avenue store in New York, shoppers can check out simply by placing their goods in gleaming bins of automated stations. Unlike the self-checkout process at many stores, customers of the casual apparel retailers don't need to scan individual items or look up prices on a screen. They can simply drop their items in a bin and pay. This next generation process is powered by radio frequency identification readers inside the checkout machines, which automatically read or read hidden RFI to the DC hip embedded in price tags. It is the strategy of Takahiro Tambara, Chief Information Officer of Japan. Hey, I was right. It was Japanese. uh it's funny because, you know, as the brothers know, you know, I like watching Japanese anime. Let me continue. Uh Officer of Japan-based Uniqlo's parent company, fast retailing, Asia's top clothing retailer, Mr. Tambara set out on a mission several years ago to transform the way customers shop in its bricks and mortar stores, which are still key to the company's business model, even as more commerce moves online. And ultimately, you know, you see Japan doing this, but China is already doing facial recognition where that you can buy where they control what you consume or what product you are able to purchase through facial recognition, through social credit system, and ultimately you see it worldwide, right? You see how BRICS, which is Britain, Russia, India, what else? Uh South Africa, Saudi Arabia, how these nations are coming together to ultimately take away to drop the value, to drop the US dollar currency that the world uses and going into a digital currency. And it might look bad for America, but ultimately this is part of America's plan too, because all these nations with the elites that control America are all in cahoots to bring the world into a state of digital currency, to bring the world in a state of a cashless society, one world government. You see? And this would be possible uh by everybody, having the C-hip. Okay. And yeah, man, Japan is doing it too. Every nation's gonna get with it. Every nation, the whole world's gonna go into that state. And ultimately, then it's gonna lead to you won't be able to buy or sell without having this. All right. You won't be able to say no to any command or demand that Esau Edom wants you to follow. All right. And we got that in the scriptures. I'm gonna just read a little more of this article because it's interesting. It says Mr. Tambara said the self-checkout machines are part of a broader effort to improve Uniqlo supply chain with RFI to the D. All fast retailing brands, including Theory and Helmut Lang, began embedding RFI to the D C-hips into their price tags in 2017, allowing the retailer to track individual items from. And see, and this is just a way to show how it's basically a way to desensitize the people to get familiar with our RFI to the D C-hips, because ultimately it's gonna lead to the people inserting this C-hip with a syringe into their skin, most likely in their right hand or their forehead, but it can be your left hand, it can be in the back of your head. You see Elon Musk doing Neuralink where he puts a C-hip in the back of your head, connected to your spine, you know. And we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. This devil can put it on your butt and be like, the Bible says the right hand or the head. Nothing about the butt. Nah, man, it don't matter where you put it. And listen, man, we're not being comical. This is serious. Esau will be like that, man. He'll put it in your butt and say the Bible says otherwise. So how can it be the C-hip? How can it be the M-A-R-K of the beast? You can't be, ignorant, man. So let me continue. Where was I? Lost my spot, Salakia. All fast retailing brands, including Theory and Helmut Lang, began embedding RFI to the DC hip into their price tags in 2017, allowing the retailer to track individual items from the factories to warehouses and inside stores. That data is critical for Uniqlo in improving the accuracy of inventory in stores, adjusting production based on demand, and getting more visibility into its supply chain, the company said. You see? And is able to track individual items from factories to warehouse and inside stores. Right? Data is critical. They're gonna be able to do the same thing with humans, man, when people get it. You'll be able to have that full control, see exactly what you're doing, what you're thinking, where you at, what you're trying to get, what you can or cannot get. See? Uh we did not introduce RFI to the D because we want to automate the checkout process. We wanted to develop a platform so that it can be utilized across the supply chain, Mr. Tambara said. Newer and cheaper RFI to the DC hip reader hardware and software are enabling retailers such as Uniqlo to implement the technology at lower cost and with more precision, said Praveen Adhi, a senior partner at McKinsey and Co., who leads the consulting firm retail operating practice in the Americas. You see? Always going back to the Americas, man. The cost of RFI to the D tags have fallen from a high at 60 cents a tag a few decades ago to about 4 cents a tag. The reader hardware has improved in range and accuracy, he said. Uniqlo said that the RFI to the D has resulted in significant reduction in out of stock item of sales. You know, and you guys can read this. I'll probably put this in the description box. All right, that's enough there. I just got a couple precepts I want to bring out. Okay, I want to get this Revelations 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil's come down onto you having great wrath. You see, the devil's coming down, man. He's coming down with great wrath because he knows that he has but a short time. You see, so this devil's gonna get serious, man. It's only a matter of time. You people out here living comfortable. You people out here living in the spirit of mirth, just partying, having a good time. We just had, last year, the end of last year, I mean, at the beginning of last year, or even a little before that, the end of COVID, right? And you guys are not even, you Israelites are not repenting, seeking the Lord. You other heathens have no fear towards the Lord. And you're gonna learn, man. You're gonna learn. You're gonna learn to fear the Lord. You see? You guys are too comfortable. The Lord's gonna put the spirit on Esau to come down with great wrath, man. Start forcing the sea hip on the people. And the world's gonna be in a state of martial law and a lockdown. I was reading that's the spirit, I'm gonna see if I can ask my wife. She actually sent me something. I'm gonna see if I can get it and probably share it with you guys if I can get it. As a matter of fact, you know who did a video on it? The brother Malak. The brother Malak did a video on it where it speaks about how. So if you go to Diligent Soldier, basically if you go to my channel, I got the Diligent Soldier Camp channel on my home. You click on that, and then you see all the brothers that are on our camp. You see their channels. If you look at the brother, his name is Hopeful Elect, if I'm not mistaken. He did a lesson on how they're gonna be able to to make these false flags and state a state of emergency and have control over the people that surpasses human rights, and they're gonna be able to state certain lockdowns and state certain what is it called? Like basically state that there's some type of for an example, like Crown 19, they're gonna be able to state something else, different ones without any information, without any proof. They just be able to say, all right, we're in lockdown. We're trying to prevent this type of disease, this type of that. There's no proof yet, but well, we have the power and the right to do it, and we're gonna surpass your human rights, and this is what we're gonna do about it. And they're gonna, move accordingly to their agenda. This is why false flags are gonna be there. You're gonna see lockdowns. You're gonna see martial law, right? And they're gonna you're gonna see food shortages. You're gonna see all these type of chaos and troubles and problems. And Esau even gonna resolve it with the sea hip. Just watch. All right. As a matter of fact, I'll get that after. I want to finish off with Ezekiel 33. But this is Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devils come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time. All right, this devil knows he has but a short time, so it's only a matter of time, man. Jake can't be comfortable out here, man. Jacob's trouble, is almost here. So let's get this right. Revelation 16 and 16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. You see, this word mark, right? Let's get that. Right? Because you gotta understand that a lot of people are saying all these false statements where they saying that this mark is something else than the C hip, than the RFI to the D C hip, man. Okay. So when you look up the word mark in the Greek, because the New Testament was written in the Greek, you see? When you look up the word in the Greek, is the Strong's Concordance is G5480, and it's pronounced charagma. All right, charagma. And when you look up the definition, right, is graven, it says a stamp, an imprinted mark. So it's something that's like a stamp or an imprinted mark, right, of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the follower of the anti-Hamashiach. So if you wear this, you basically, if you get this in your body, it's a badge that proves that you are you are a follower. You have submitted, okay, you have submitted fully to Esau Edom, who is the anti-Hamashiach, right? The mark branded upon horses, things carved, and something's carved is being scraped, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images, right? Now, when you look up the root word of charagma, see root word etymology, you click on it, okay? When you look up the root word of charagma, it's charax, right? Strong's G5482 is charax. So this is the root word of charagma, right? So we're going more into depth on what the word means, right? It says a pale or stake, a palisade or rampart, right? Pale, between which earth, stone, tree, timber, heaped and packed together. Let's continue. Right? Look, Strong's definition of what karag means, it says to sharpen to a point. You see? Akin through the idea of scratching. When you do a scratching, you're cutting in the flesh. So you're sharpening something to the point that scratching or cutting the flesh. You see, a stake. Example, a palisade or rampart. You see? Let's continue. Okay. A pale or stake palisade. Okay. Now let's look up what the word palisade means, just for edification. search Google. So that's not what I'm looking for. All right, let's scratch that. All right. So a steak, okay. So yeah, to sharpen to a point akin through the idea of scratching. Okay. Think of that. So it's like a cutting in the flesh. Let me see. Let me see something. Palisade or rampart. Let's see what happens if I look this up. I want to see what Google images have. Palisade wall and palisade wall with rampart. Okay, so it looks like these sharp objects. All right. Anyway, let's just get deeper into the word. So understand uh a steak, pale, scratch, right? From the carousel to sharpen to a point akin through the idea of scratching. There we go. That's basically what it is. All right. So when you go back to Revelations 16, Revelation 13:16, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. They're basically gonna get the charagma, right? They're gonna get something that's gonna brand them. All right, it's like a stamp through the means of a scratching or cutting in the flesh. All right, and let's go deeper because you guys might not believe you Israelites that, let's be straightforward, you simple, all right? And you can't get offended in this because a lot of you people don't even know what the mark of the beast is. And I'm here to tell you what it is, right? Revelation 13 and 7, it says, 17, it says, so Revelation 13 and 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark of the name of the beast, of the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 603 score and six. And 603 score six goes into 666. And let's look up what the word six goes into, right? 603 score and six. When you look it up in the Greek, is CZ stigma, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see what it says. Or shy C.
5516. High, psi, stigma.
So Salakia, high sty stigma.
Psi, stigma.
High sty stigma. Now, when you look up the last letter, the number 6, right? Right here, stigma, right? Because the stigma part, high, sty, stigma, that's the last 6 in the Greek. And when you look it up, like 666, the meaning of which the basis of much vain speculation. Let's look at what the word stigma means. So I'm going to click on this right here, Strong's G4742, con. You see, stigma.
Strong's G 4742. Stigma.
Stigma. It's a lucky that for that, brothers, technology be a little slow sometimes. But stigma, man, that's the last 6. And stigma, look, let's go one into it. It reads, right? The outline biblical usage of stigma. It says a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. When something is pricked into your body, it's a cutting in the flesh. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name of the stamp of their master. So when you have this, you're basically a slave and you have the stamp or the name of your master on it. In other words, you're bound. In other words, you're basically bound down to Esau Edom. That's exactly what it means. That you're bound down to Esau Edom. Let's continue. It says stamp of the master, commander, branded or pricked, cut. You see, into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. And there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods. This is exactly what's happening. There's a couple of devotees now. These are the volunteers, the ones that are down and just check it out and try it because they're so intrigued and delighted by this new technology. Look, let's go to the Strong's definition of stigma. From primary, stick, prick, a mark incised or punched. When you're punched in, you punch a hole, incised, right? Or punched for recognition of ownership. Example, scar of service, MARK. So something's gonna be incised or punched, an incision. This is where the word incision comes from. You see, something's gonna be put into your body to prick, sting, a mark pricked or in or branded upon the body. You see? So if that's not proof enough, then it's not for you, man. It's not for you, man. And you won't understand. But this MARK is a physical device that's gonna be put into your body with a syringe. Let's get that. Syringe.
It's a real offer you can get in under 2 minutes. Ta-da!
Look at this. These are the syringes that are being used. I was so focused on this that I got my music on and it just played a commercial and I didn't even notice. Look at this. This is a syringe, man. These type of syringes are the ones that implant C-hips. You see? And these syringes cut the flesh. Look at this. Esau's over here fucking with the quality. Let's see if I can get a good one. And again, this is fair use, YouTube. All right, for educational purposes. And anyways, let's get what's the consequence, man. You've been warned, all right? And you're gonna notice that what we're saying is true, because you're gonna see this C-head being pushed even more, right? And you're gonna wonder, if this is not the M-A-R-K of the beast, then why is this wicked elite? Why are the wicked elite pushing this C-head so hard? This is what you're gonna wonder, because you gotta there's people that are under a rock, and I understand them. So whatever comes to them, they deserve it. But there's people also that are slightly waking up to Esau's wickedness, and they know that there's something dark behind the curtains. They know that there's a certain agenda, a certain movement. All right, certain people that have control of certain things, like the music, the media, entertainment industry. See, the education system, the money. You see, it's people that know this, man. And we're gonna close out. Let me get this preset, and then we'll close out with Ezekiel. Revelations 14:9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark on his forehead or in his hand. See, the beast, okay, that's Esau Edom. All right, that's the so-called white man. That's NATO and the EU, okay? Because they are the ones that are gonna push this, okay? And his image is his philosophies, his ways, his doctrine, his system. All right. And you're gonna be worshiping Esau Edom and his ways by receiving, right? And receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. So if any man, right? If any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink, Revelation 14:10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. So ultimately, if you receive this mark, the C-hip, in your body, you're going to receive the wine of the wrath of God, which is going to be poured out without mixture. In other words, no chaser, meaning no mercy, into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone, which is going to be ultimately the second death, which is the lake of fire, right, caused by the ICBM missiles in the time of World War III. You see, in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, which is Yahawashi. And I'm going to close out with this, Ezekiel 33:31. And they come unto thee as a people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people. See, this is how the people do, man. They come unto thee as a people cometh. See, so they gather up, they come together, or they call themselves, God-fearing people or Christians, or and they come unto thee as a people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words. So they hear what we're saying, man, but they will not do them. They hear the rebuke that we're giving them. They hear the good tidings, the good news. They hear the message that we're giving them. They hear the warning. See, it says, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they show much love. See, they just lip service, but their heart goeth after their covetousness. You see? Ultimately, they're going after the world, man. Ezekiel 33:32. And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that has a pleasant voice. And that's exactly what we are, man. And can play well on an instrument, for they hear thy words, but they do them not. You see, because this gospel, this warning, this truth, this message, this doctrine, it's the same song that the prophets of old been singing, but it's a new song because our people forgot who they were. And that's why our people now, they out here, thinking that they are black, Latino, thinking that they can follow any religion, thinking that they can be like Esau and the so-called white man, not knowing that the Lord left law, statutes, and commandments just for us, and that the kingdom of heaven is just for us, and that all these other nations are gonna go into slavery just for us. You see, and this is a lovely song, that they hearing, but they not tuning in. I'm gonna read again, Ezekiel 33 and 32. And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that has a pleasant voice and can play well on an instrument, for they hear thy words, but they do them not. Verse 33 is the main point. And when it cometh to pass, you see, what's coming to pass? Everything I mentioned, Jacob's trouble, the sea hip, World War III. And when it cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet has been among them. See, right now, gradually, the sea hip is being pushed out, right? It's been being pushed out gradually, all right? They've been doing a lot of tests, and they're perfecting this, all right? It's gonna get, and you see how the world's going to a digital currency, okay? You see how the world's going to a payless, a palm pay, touch by pay, scan, all this. You see how the world's transitioning into ultimately to the sea hip. So I'm gonna read again, Ezekiel 33 and 33. And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet has been among them. So when you see that you're being forced now to take this, and that you have no more rights and no more power, and you can't do nothing without that permission, right? Or your C hip is gonna be turned off. When you see this, when you see your life being at risk, for not wanting to take the C hip, you're gonna know that there was a prophet among you, and we're giving you this warning right now. See, a lot of people don't believe this shit. A lot of people are with the shit. A lot of people think it's so convenient, make life easy, and you're able to do so many things with the C hip. All right, cool. If you take this shit, trust and believe that the Lord's gonna F you up, man. I gotta be straightforward like that. This is not a joke. This is the warning, right? This is a warning the Lord is giving onto the people of Israel, man, onto the nation of Israel. Again, I hope that this lesson be edifying to the elect. All praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rawcha Qadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, GMS, who rule one time of this truth. Shalom to the Bayat Dawadah, and shalom to the sincere Akwathium who are staying in order according to the scriptures. The Lord willing, on to the next lesson. Shalom.